Ron DeSantis. Well, he's been getting everything he wants. During the legislative session in Florida there, which just ended yesterday, he got nearly everything he demanded, but of course, it's still not enough. DeSantis has his eye on eliminating the congressional seats held by Black members there in Florida. And so this is what we've learned. NBC News reports that the GOP governor who's running for re-election in November, and many expect to run for president in 2024, is spoiling for a court fight over what's known as a minority access congressional seat in North Florida held by a Black Democrat. He's threatening to call back the Florida legislature into special session and pressure them to approve his plan to eliminate not only the North Florida seat held by Democratic Representative Al Lawson, but also the Orlando area district held by another Black Democrat, Representative Val Demings. And here are those reps right here. Yep, there you go. We got Al Lawson on the left and we have Val Demings on the right. And DeSantis's office went ahead and circulated a memo in mid-February, it's barely a month old, essentially arguing that the 5th congressional district was the product of an unconstitutional racial gerrymandering per 2017 US Supreme Court case. Now, according to NBC News, GOP lawmakers are really growing wary of this whole idea of a special session, because of course, no one wants to go on break and be able to do them and then become called back to work. No, they don't want that. And so essentially dragging legislators back to Tallahassee, which would be the ultimate power play for DeSantis, is on brand for the governor who became a top 2024 Republican presidential contender, second only to former President Donald Trump, for his willingness to fight anyone who hints at crossing him. Now, Tampa Senator Jeff Brandes, well, he got real about the threat that DeSantis poses. And this is what this Republican Senator Brandes said. He said, this is DeSantis's MO. What he cares about deeply, and if you get in his way, he's going to roll through you. Members don't know him and don't know what he's going to do. And that not knowing is part of the reason they fear him. Yeah, that sounds really democratic and diplomatic. I'm really glad this man is in a leadership position. Okay, but also this looming power play by DeSantis, this is like a new level of whack and loathsome behavior from the governor. So from drawing from his own map to threatening that veto, DeSantis's involvement in congressional redistricting hasn't been seen before in Florida, said University of Florida political science professor Michael McDonald. McDonald's an expert in redistricting, and he said he can't think of a single governor in the country who vetoed congressional maps passed by a legislature controlled by his party in recent history. Yeah, so DeSantis is like super nationalist, white nationalist era allegedly behavior. The man is a problem to the point where his own GOP is thinking, what did we do? This is incredibly scary, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of this larger trend of, and it's really the intersection of two big trends. The first and foremost is the Republican Party just openly like welcoming white supremacists as part of their, as part of their party. And that paired with their attacks on democracy. Basically, look, they know they're losing, right? They know they're losing. It's like that, that like old sort of like proverb about like a dying tiger being very dangerous. That's the Republican Party right now. They are on the way out. People are tired of basically everything that they stand for. And so right now they're doing everything they can to viciously attack people in any way that they can, like with the Don't Say Gay bill, and like in Texas where they're literally trying to take trans children away from parents and throw their parents in jail just for supporting their trans children. Like these are the types of things the Republican Party is doing. And Ron DeSantis is just going completely mask off and saying like, no, democracy, what do you mean democracy? Our goal is to stay in power. Because, and you'll hear this line a lot from Republicans, they'll talk about like, oh, but real voters and legitimate votes and things like that. And they mean white votes, like that's it. They want democracy for white people and white people only. And yep. I think Ron DeSantis just makes that very, very clear.
No, so do I, definitely. It seems that Ron DeSantis is going mask off and hood on, because like this man, and just as you notice, everything he's doing and now targeting these congressional seats held by Black leaders, get out of here. And also trying to use this kind of underhanded way to say that it violates racial equality by giving them these seats, they earn these seats, they're elected to power because the voice matters and also their contributions matter. And so part of the problem would definitely be DeSantis, but this is a good example of this is what happens when you uplift these voices that seem that they're just like pushing the line a little bit or towing the line when it comes to racism. No, they're just kind of wading the water so that they can splash around and really show their white supremacist angle.